the United States, and he is the chief medical advisor to the president and the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, and they are both here exclusively to talk about the latest efforts to combat COVID-19. Please welcome First Lady of the United States, Dr. Jill Biden, and Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The doctors have arrived.
Doctors, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Can you help with Mark's tooth? Her husband's tooth
Yes,
is
I know you're not
bleeding,
dentists, but
Any
there's a lot
advice?
going on in my house. A lot of near-death experiences happening.
We don't do teeth, right?
So what should we call you? Dr. Jill Biden? Jill?
Jill.
Okay.
Jill.
All right,
Yes,
good. Well, there's
call
so
me
many
Jill.
doctors. Your students call you Dr. B, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so we'll call you Jill.
I'm going to tell Ryan something. Doctors, forgive me for a second. Did you know that I'm still going to say Dr.
Jill?
Biden,
Just
Jill,
call her Jill.
and I are from neighboring hometowns, and Jill is from the blueberry capital of the world,
Is that right?
Hamilton, New Jersey.
That's right.
Very big deal.
And your paths continue to collide, I see.
Yes,
Exactly.
It was your
Obviously.
birthday last week, right? Last
Yes,
Thursday?
yeah.
Happy birthday. How'd you celebrate?
Thank you. Well, I went to the beach, my favorite place. So Joe could come down to the beach, so he came down for the day, and we rode our bikes and just decided to hang out together. It's nice. It was great. It was a
little normalcy.
beautiful birthday.
I'm glad that you get to still do normal things.
Once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. Dr. Fauci, this is your first time in New York City since the pandemic.
Right.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn born.
Brooklyn born.
Yeah.
And is it good to be back in New York City, or do you find yourself on a friends and family tour?
Yeah, not quite. No, it was really a really great feeling flying into LaGuardia and then just taking the car right into the city that I was as a child, grew up in. It was really a good feeling.
I know you put the window down and look at people outside
They don't
to
let
see
you
how
put
they're
the window
doing.
down.
Oh, they don't let you.
Right.
Oh, you give up that
Right,
privilege?
remember when we tried to get in the front door?
Yeah, that's right. They barely let us here today.
Yeah.
And
We
Dr.
were
Biden,
in his neighborhood, right? We were at the church and getting people vaccinated.
Yeah, we passed where I went to high school
Yeah.
and where I went to medical school on York Avenue
Yeah.
69, so it really felt
a
good.
walk down memory lane. And
Yeah.
you've been teaching over Zoom,
Oh,
right? How's that been?
It's been hard. I mean, we have to celebrate our teachers, I'll tell
Yes.
you. Yes.
Listen, I think the one thing, and I keep saying, like, there's so few silver linings, but one of the silver linings of the pandemic was that parents really understood how tough the job of
Yes.
teaching is.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
on the other
Thank
side
you.
of the computer
Thank you.
is a hapless parent trying to just log their child on to the computer.
And the teachers and the parents connected, and I think that's another positive thing that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you do get, Dr. Biden, Jill, a rare moment of peace and quiet and alone time with your husband, what is it that you guys really prefer to, on a regular basis, what do you like to do?
Well, I like to exercise and, take him on a bike ride or go out for a walk. He doesn't have much free time. That's
Yeah,
the
right.
Do you have
only
dinner
thing.
together?
Pardon me?
Do you have dinner together?
Oh, we always have dinner together. That's the one thing that we spend at least an hour a day, just quiet, no phones, the candles on the table.
Now, hang on a second.
What music is playing?
No, we always, I like a pretty table, so I put flowers on the table and we spend time together.
And so what time, okay, because it's such a big job. What time is dinner and how long does it last?
It's usually between 6 and 7 and maybe an hour, and then he's back reading
Goes back to work.
briefings, or I'm grading papers or reading briefings as well. So
And Dr. Fauci, I realize we could not be related ever because I understand that throughout life you've had dinner at 9:30 at night to keep the family together. I mean, that is just crazy. I'd like to talk to you about that.
Hang on
How's
a
that do for your
second.
mental health?
Hang on a second. Dr. Fauci and I
Exactly.
totally could have been married. Because to me, usually 9 p.m. is my first meal of the day. And then,
Wow.
I eat through the night like a pregnant shark.
But that was to be able to have family dinners?
Yeah, given the nature of my work, I wouldn't get home until 9, and like Dr. Biden and the president.
Please call her Jill. I mean,
The one thing I wanted was to have dinner every night with my children. So I put them into the relatively unhealthy situation of having dinner at 9 o'clock. But we had dinner essentially every night together.
that's good. It's important.
And your family owned a pharmacy, which to us is so appealing.
Yeah.
I could spend the rest of my life meandering through a pharmacy. I'm not kidding. It is my favorite thing to do. And I love a family-owned shop to begin with, but you give me an apothecary, a pharmacy, I'll
Forget about
linger
it.
in there all day, to the point where they start looking at me like perhaps I'm shoplifting.
We can barely see over the counter.
My grandfather had a pharmacy in Hamilton.
No,
He owned a pharmacy in Hamilton.
Did you deliver for that pharmacy as well?
Throughout the city.
all locations, but you did for your families that you delivered on your bike.
I did, my Schwinn bike.
Oh, I love a Schwinn.
Yes, we all.
All right, we are going to take a break and come back right after this with Jill and Anthony. Stay with us.